So hello everyone, welcome back to another video on project requirement discussion. So in this video, we will walk you through the requirement of big data analytics project. We will break down the problem we are trying to solve and the data we will working on. Also, we will discuss the tool we are going to tackle it. Now let's jump right in and discuss the project details. Okay, so let's discuss the projects in detail. So this project is a big data analytics project. So this project is basically using this data. So UNSW NB15, this is a data this project are going to use, and these are the different detail of the data. So you can get the idea. It's a raw network packet we are generated using this perfect storm tool. So this is the for scraping the not scraping, how to get the data from these resources. Okay, so this might be some open source data or private data. This is basic detail about this data. Okay, so this is basically TCP dump was employed to capture 100 GB of raw traffic resulting PCB cap. Okay, PCAP. And the data set have this type of features. So the different type of attacks. So basically this data set is analyzing the traffic, or based on the traffic we have to find which of the different type of attack this data have. Okay, so this you can see data set encompasses 9 type of attacks. So this is fusers, analysis, backdoors, DOS, exploit, generic. Okay, so reconnaissance, cell call or worms, like that. So these are different type of threat when you are working, or different if you are using internet, or maybe if you are connected with the internet. So these are different type of hackers use this different type of techniques to attack on your system and extract data over the traffic, over the traffic, in the sense if you are connected with internet. This is little about the data, and this is more detail about this data. Okay, so total, so there is, see, these are total different type of attack here. Okay, but this data set had total 49 features. Okay, the corresponding labels, and the labels of data is you can get the idea here. Data set feature, SCR, SRC, IP, spot, dist, IP. So these are total 49 different columns or feature of this data set has. Okay, so you can explore more about this data set, but this I'm only briefing about this data. Okay, also you can get from idea from here. Okay, so this was our data. So based on this data, what are the tasks we have to perform? You can perform, or you can decide your own custom tasks, but just some of the basic tasks we have mentioned I'm going to discuss here. So the first task, the first part is loading the data in your preparing for data, making suitable for your rest of the analytics, right? Once the data is loaded, then we have to perform analytics part, right? So using Apache Hive. So as the first task, you can see here advanced analytics using PySpark. Okay, so we are going to use PySpark. So analyze and interpret the big data. So we need to understand the data through at least 4 analytical methods. So first we have to load the data, and then we have to analyze the data. Okay, so descriptive statistic, correlations, hypothesis testing, density estimation. So, and you need to present your work numerically and graphically, apply tooltip text. So our first task is to load that. After loading the data in I discuss here. Okay, so you can get the basic idea what was the data you have, and how this are how this is, what are the basic statistic of the data, right? And so you can analyze this one. After analyzing the data, okay, then you can get interpretations, right? So what the data basically saying, what type of data it is, what is the different correlations, what is hypothesis, what you should use, after doing the basic insight on the data. Now you can use the design and build the classifier. Okay, so based on this we are going to use classifier on this data. Okay, so explain your algorithm and its configuration. So what is basically the task, okay, what you have to perform. So explain your findings in both numerical and graphical representation, evaluate the performance of the model and verify the accuracy and effectiveness of your model. Okay, so you can choose your model. So basically it's a basically requirement, right? I'm not going to explain in this solution. So this is basically I'm explaining what you can perform on this data. Okay, and if you want to perform more things, so apply multi class classified data into 10 classes. Okay, so different classifier you can use, and one normal. Okay, so one normal, so total we have to use 10 classes, right? So one is normal and next is 9 attacks. So these are different type of attacks. Okay, so this data type. Okay, so briefly explain your you can also make it in notes, so what you are going to do. So it's just a little final result. So what things are needed, what you have achieved, what different parameter, accuracy and effectiveness of the result. And then after also you can document your result. Okay, so if you are working as this project as a coursework or assignment, or maybe present your uh, instructor somewhere, so or maybe if you're online courses you are, so sometimes documentation also help to in future. Okay, so I'm just also recommending please write a detailed documentation, so that in future if you forget something you can get to understand what the things are going to happen. Okay, if there is no documentation, maybe after some 2 or 3 or maybe after period of time you will forget about this project, how you have implemented. So maybe in your documentations you can mention everything, what are the tools, code, or even what are the input. Okay, what was their statistic. Here we can get the what are the analytics, or what are the analytics or insight from the data. So you can see these are different analytical method, right? So this analytical method you can also mention then how you are achieve that result, what are different classifier used, what are the challenges. So everything you can document properly. Okay, so that in future it will be very helpful, or maybe you can submit to your instructor or if you are need to gain some marks. Okay, so this was the thing. And also if you need help in big data projects, so we offer these different services like projects guidance, coding help, and if we are also data engineering part. So more specifically, if you are working on a project with big data using Apache Hive or PySpark, or and you need help from start to finish, or just you need some guidance along the way. So if you are working on projects with big data using Apache Hive or the PySpark, and you need help from start to finish, or just some guidance along the way, we are here to help you. Also, you are working on data engineering job, or maybe you're facing some day-to-day challenges and you need helping hand.